welcome back to part 2 of my video. This is a continuation to my video from yesterday. Obviously, in part 1, I did not really discuss what is the real reason why, there are so many leftover women in China. I want you guys to get to know this young lady. Well, she used to be young back in 2010. So, this girl, her name is Ma Nuo. So, she appeared on season 1 of a very popular dating show in China. This dating show is called 非诚勿扰. Every time I went back to visit China, I always watch it with my family members. I don't know if it's still popular, but it was on air for many years. So back in 2010, when Ma Nuo, when she appeared on season 1 of 非诚勿扰, the Chinese dating show, she said something. So when the hosts asked all the single ladies, so what are you looking for in a man? And she said this: I would rather cry in the back of a BMW than be happy and smiling in the back of a bicycle. And this quote by this Chinese woman back in 2010 on this dating show completely just blew up all over the internet. This was China's most viral moment. Overnight, she became an instant celebrity. She was bigger than the Hak Tua girl. She was bigger than the Chick-fil-A sauce girl. She was bigger than the I'm looking for a man in finance trust fund 6'5" blue eyes. And a lot of people simply said that, she was paid to do this by the producers, obviously in an attempt to boost the ratings for this show. Which, I mean, it's 100% possible, hard to say. Or perhaps she's making a joke. Or maybe she's just a real-life gold digger. But however you see, this is one of the many poisons of social media. Yes, social media has a massive negative effect on men, especially a young man. However, the effect is 10 times worse for women. And it was around this period, divorce rates in China started to skyrocket. Divorce rates in China historically has been extremely low. Obviously, my family is an exception. But this is a recent phenomenon in China overall. Ever since, this girl went completely viral in 2010, China's divorce rates just completely went off the charts. And this is the reason why for so many men, dating is not worth it anymore. It's so easy to indoctrinate women. And I believe with the rise of television, of these dating shows, of social media, things like Snapchat, like Instagram, like Facebook, the consequences have been severe on this generation of young women. For example, I mentioned before Friends, The TV show Friends is extremely popular in China. And one criticism I do have of the show Friends is that it definitely glorifies a hookup culture. It glorifies casual relationships. It glorifies cheating, adultery. It glorifies divorce. The fact that, that became a running joke on the show, Ross has had 3 divorces. Literally, the very first episode of the show, Monica Geller, or Courtney Cox, she had a one-night stand with Paul, the one guy, and that was on their first date. The consequences are severe because women, they watch these shows and they see these posts on social media and they think that this kind of behavior is 100% normal. Way back in the day, without the television, without internet, without social media, women weren't exposed to this kind of poison. I want to give you guys a few examples. Let's say if you want to become a passport bro. Let's say, you get your visa, you go to work or study in China, you want to look for a Chinese girlfriend. Let me warn you, 80 to 90% of modern Chinese women, they're not the traditional innocent, submissive Asian woman that you're looking for, 80 to 90% of them, they're looking to annex your bank account, That is the only reason why they want to date you. I'm being 100% serious. They want to annex all of your savings, special military operation style. For example, if you go to China, if you take a Chinese girl out on a date, let's say you go to a fancy restaurant, And I guarantee you that whatever restaurant you pick, she's not going to say yes, She wants you to take her to literally the most expensive, the most obnoxious restaurant in town. And when she goes into that restaurant, she doesn't even care what's on the menu. She will simply ask the waiter, what is the most expensive item on the menu? What is the most expensive wine? What is the most expensive dessert? Whatever you have, whatever costs the most money, simply bring out those dishes. And obviously, when the bill comes, she's not gonna split the bill 50-50 with you, And also, there's one thing many of you guys might not have known, there's also this new trend that's emerging in China where basically if you're dating this girl for more than 3 months and she considers this to be a serious relationship now. So at the start of your relationship, she might not ask you to pay 100% of the bills. But let's say if you've been together for more than 3 months, she said that, okay, now I think you're a good guy, you know, we've been together 3 months now, I'll let you have the cookie. But in exchange, you have to pay 100% of my bills. Okay, I'm gonna quit my job, I'm gonna stop working. You have to pay for my phone bills, you gotta pay for my spa, you gotta pay for my massages, you gotta pay for my nails, you gotta pay for my gym membership. You have to pay for everything. Where do you think these modern Chinese women could have possibly learned this kind of behavior? I believe Western women call this kind of a behavior sprinkle. You see, social media is extremely damaging to young women. Okay, this is why millions of young Chinese men are choosing to simply, stay at home. They're letting it rot. They're laying flat because to them, dating is simply not worth it in 2024. I'll give you 2 examples. 2 people I actually work with in Canada, both of them Chinese, okay? So both of these guys, one guy I know for sure, he works 7 days a week, every single day. He has 2 separate jobs, okay? He works in the kitchen department at a grocery store, and his second job, he's also a cook at a Thai Express. The Thai Express is owned by a Chinese family. So he works 7 days a week. We're talking about 70 to 80 hours, non-stop every single day. Guess what? His wife does not work at all. I can understand that, if this guy was super rich, okay, if he can just afford everything, then it only makes sense, right? His wife should be staying at home and he should not be working. But this guy is only a middle income level status and he does not have rich millionaire parents, right? And it would make sense for his wife to stay home if she was actually staying home and raising children for him. That makes sense, right? But she's actually just out there enjoying life. They're not raising kids, and I don't think they're planning on having kids, at least not in the immediate future. She's basically there to be a vampire, to completely suck him dry. There's also one other guy I work with. So this guy, he's around 6'2", very tall for a Chinese guy. By the way, the first guy I mentioned, he's also 6 feet. You see? Being tall is a massive advantage for many women. That is the #1 requirement. Okay, the reason why these 2 guys, one can get a wife, another one get a girlfriend, is because one of them is 6 feet and one of them is 6'2". You cannot deny that being tall for men is a massive advantage in the dating market. So this guy around 6'2" tall, right? And unfortunately, he's a bit out of shape now. But when he was chasing after his girlfriend, okay, he had to get extremely fit. Basically, she literally told him, "You're too fat, you're too out of shape, and I need you to get in shape if you want to date me." Imagine if a man told a woman that to her face. If you say, "Oh my God, you're so fat, you're so lazy, you're so out of shape," that guy would get completely nuked. We're talking Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Chernobyl style. So this guy, he actually got in shape. This is many years ago. He started running 7 days a week. He was running 5 kilometers a day or 3.1 miles. But 5 kilometers is not very much, but he was doing this 7 days a week for quite a few months. So finally, he won this girl over. This is also a Chinese girl. And after they've been together for 3 months, okay, now we've been together for 3 months. I'm gonna quit my job. You're going to have to pay all of my bills. And this guy, shockingly, actually agreed to his girlfriend's request. He's also working 6 to 7 days a week. It must be 7 or 8 years now. He's literally working 6 to 7 days a week. You're looking at 60 hours plus a week. And his girlfriend just stays at home. And obviously, they're not married. They don't have any children. She does not do anything. She's just there to annex all of his savings from his 60-hour work week. Chinese women never ever acted like this, okay? Even my mom, yes, she's had issues, but she's an extremely hard worker. She's extremely dedicated, okay? When she was building up her sauna company, she was literally working 7-11-7. She was working 16 hours a day non-stop for 3 to 4 years in order to build her business, okay? She's very dedicated. My grandmother, due to the fact that my grandfather, he was poor, he never made much money, he walks with a limp. My grandmother, she has had an extremely difficult life. She has to basically work 7 days a week for almost all of her entire life. Same thing with her sister. She worked 996, 72 hours for her entire life. Chinese women never ever acted the way they're doing now. And this is all due to the severe consequences of social media. It's the Westerners, okay? People in the West, you started this BS movement. You started this sprinkle movement. You say that, oh, women, we're all queens, we're the prize, okay? I want a man that makes $200,000 a year. I don't want to work, I don't want to cook, I don't want to clean for my man. My man must do all the work, and it doesn't matter how tall, how handsome, and how much money my man makes, okay? I'm still going to blame him for everything. I'm gonna say that, you know, he doesn't make enough money. I'm gonna compare him to Messi. I'm going to compare my husband to Ronaldo. I'm gonna say that he's a total bump, that, you know, he'll never ever be the top 1% income earner. Because, you know, it doesn't matter how much effort a man puts into his relationship or marriage. In the cases, for example, especially the second Chinese guy, they're not even married. At any point, his girlfriend can just say that, you know what, you're just not worth my time and not worth my effort. And the past 7 to 8 years of working 6 to 7 days a week, and the fact that his girlfriend is not working, all of that just to make her happy, okay? That could literally all disappear overnight. All that effort for nothing. So this is why for millions of young Chinese men, dating is simply not worth it. Even if you can find a girlfriend, is it worth it to work 72 to 84 hours a week? All that just for your girlfriend to tell you that you're still not good enough. Women have changed. This is the worst time in the history of humanity to be a man. There's no doubt about it. You are dealing with something that has never, ever happened in the history of humanity. Is there a solution to this? Yes, absolutely. I understand that my video yesterday was already 18 minutes. I don't want to keep this video too long, but I will follow up on this topic with part 3 to be released on Wednesday. Get ready. All of this is leading up to my video on Friday, where I will talk about the severe consequences of secularism. So this topic is to be continued on Wednesday and Friday. Friday's video will be extra special. It will be between 30 to 40 minutes long. And I think everyone should definitely watch my Friday's video. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys on Wednesday.